So in this video, I'll be reviewing the 2024 biology specimen that has been released by NECO. Okay, but before I do that, I want to specially appreciate my old viewers and subscribers for always showing love and supporting. And I also want to encourage those that are just joining me for the first time. If you are seeing my channel for the first time, please, I would advise you subscribe and share so others can also learn. Okay, now going to the specimens. Now specimen A here is onion bulb. Now the botanical name for onion bulb is known as the Allium cepa. Okay, now if you observe how I wrote the Allium cepa, this is the general name and this is the species name. The general name is supposed to start with a capital letter and the species name is supposed to start with a small letter, and they are supposed to be underlined. Now the underlining should not be for the both of them at once. The underlining should be for each of the words. Okay, so you do not underline at once, you underline each of the words. Now let us move to the taxonomy of onion bulb. Now we know the onion is a plant, isn't it? So under kingdom, it is found under kingdom Plantae, division Tracheophyta, class Liliopsida, order Aspergillus, family Alliaceae, genus Allium, and species cepa. Okay, so this is the taxonomy of the onion. Now let us look at other informations about the onion. Now firstly, you should know that the vegetative structure in onion or of onion is the bulb. Okay, so the bulb is the vegetative structure in onion. Now onion is very important because it holds a very important economic value, right? It is used in almost every household in this part of the world. It is also high in antioxidants. It's a very good antioxidant. Okay, now the onion also possesses adventitious fruits. It possesses adventitious fruits. Now if you observe the structure of the onion, you'll find out that the outer part of the onion is leafy. So it has a leafy outer part. The inner part is the succulent part. That's the part that is edible. So that's the part we can eat. So that is that for specimen A. Now the onion has the axile placentation, in case you are asked. Okay, so the onion has the axile placentation. Now specimen B is the ginger rhizomes. Okay, now the botanical name for ginger is known as the Zingiber officinale. Okay, this is the botanical name for ginger. Now let's look at the taxonomy of ginger. Now ginger is under kingdom Plantae, division Tracheophyta, class Liliopsida, order Zingiberellus, family Zingiberaceae, genus Zingiber, and species officinale. Now other informations that are important here is that firstly the ginger is a perennial crop. It's a perennial crop or plant. Okay, now it is very rich, it is very medicinal. It is medicinal and it is used in almost every household in this part of the world. Okay, it is medicinal. Another information about the ginger is that it reproduces asexually by budding. It reproduces asexually by budding. It has adventitious roots. Okay, and also the propagative structure for ginger is known as the rhizomes, in case you are asked. Okay, so the rhizomes are the propagative structures of ginger. Now specimen C is Irish potato, and the botanical name for Irish potato is Solanum tuberosum. Okay, now let's look at the taxonomy of Irish potato. Now Irish potato is under kingdom Plantae, division Tracheophyta, class Angiosperma, order Soluralis, family Tularosia, genus Solanum, and species tuberosum. Now, some important information here are, firstly, the Irish potato is rich in fiber and carbohydrates. It's rich in fiber and carbohydrates. Okay, it is also rich in sugar. It's rich in sugar, and also it is a tuber. It is a tuber. Okay, now another information there is that it reproduces both sexually and asexually. It reproduces both sexually and asexually. Okay, so those are the important information you need to know about specimen C, which is Irish potato. Now for specimen D is potted beans seedling. Now they specifically told us that it should be a week old. That means it should be planted a week before the date of the exams. Okay, now the scientific or botanical name for the potted beans or beans is known as the Phaseolus vulgaris. Now let's come over here to look at the taxonomy of beans. Now beans is under kingdom Plantae, division Trachyphyta, class Angiosperma, order Fabilis, family Fabaceae, genus Phaseolus, and species vulgaris. Now some additional information you should know is that the beans is a legume. Because it is a legume, it has the ability to fix atmospheric nitrogen in root nodules. Okay, it has the ability to fix atmospheric nitrogen in root nodules. Because it can fix atmospheric nitrogen, it doesn't really need some artificial fertilizer to grow it. Okay, that's that. Another information is that it takes about 55 to 60 days for maturation. Before it matures, it takes about 55 to 60 days. Another important information here is that the beans is actually an epigynous plant. That means the dicot is a dicot plant to start with. The dicot is brought above the soil. Okay, so when it grows, when it sprouts out, the seed leaves are brought above the soil. Okay, so you can see the seed leaves like this coming out of the soil. It is not buried in the ground. That is why it is called an epigynous plant, because it exhibits epigynous germination. Okay, so that is that. Now the beans also has marginal placentation. Marginal placentation. It mostly grows in summer. And it is a pod plant. So these are a few important information about specimen D. Now specimen E, we're asked to provide potted guinea corn of 1 week still. Okay, just like the potted bean. All right, so firstly, the botanical name for guinea corn is known as the Sorghum bicolor. Okay, so coming over to this part, we'll look at the taxonomy. The taxonomy here, the guinea corn is under kingdom Plantae, division Trachyphyta, class Angiosperma, order Phaseolus, family Phaseolus, genus Sorghum, and species bicolor. Now, some important information here is that they are tall grasses. Okay, the guinea corn are tall grasses. Now they also exhibit epigynous germination, just like the beans. Also exhibit epigynous germination, and it takes about 3 to 4 months before maturation. Okay, now the specimen F is pigeon head with neck. So we are meant to provide the head of pigeon with the neck. Okay, so firstly, the scientific name for pigeon is Columba livia. Okay, that's the scientific name. Now, coming over to the taxonomy, if you observe, the taxonomy pattern has changed because pigeon is an animal, not a plant this time. Now, for the kingdom, it is under kingdom Animalia. Now, this place is supposed to be division, but oftentimes division is used for plants, while phylum is used for animals. So that is why you can see there is a change here from division to phylum. So we have phylum Chordata, class Aves, order Columbiformes, family Columbidae, genus Columba, and species Livia. Now, let's look at other informations about this specimen. So, firstly, you should know that these specimens, their mouth part is modified into beak. Okay, so their mouth part is modified into beak. So their mouth part is referred to as beak. Secondly, there are different types of beak. All right, there are different types of beak associated with different birds. But for pigeon, you should know that their type of beak is a short, strong, cone-like beak. So this is the type of beak they possess. Some birds possess very long beak, but for the pigeon, their beak is short, strong, and cone-like in shape. Now, if you observe their beak, at the base of their beak, there is a structure known as the cere. And this is a sensitive structure at the base, found at the base of their beak. Now, also, if you observe the feathers that are around the neck region of the pigeon, you would see that they are standing. Okay, now those feathers around that area is referred to as the crests. Okay, so in case you are asked to mention some observable features of specimen F, you can just mention this one: their mouth parts, the type of beak they have, the structure, the sensitive structure that is found at the base of their beak, and the crest. Okay, another additional information can be that they are oviparous. They are oviparous because they are egg-laying animals. Oviparous. Okay, so these are the basic information about specimen F. Okay, so specimen G is atlas vertebrae of rabbits. Okay, so this specimen, we do not need to write a scientific name, but you can find out the scientific name of rabbit. We do not also need taxonomy because we're actually talking about a bone. Okay, now the basic knowledge you should have about the atlas vertebrae is that it is part of the cervical vertebrae. It is part of the cervical vertebrae. Okay, and it is located at the base of the skull. At the base of the skull. So at the base of the skull, you would find the atlas vertebrae. Now, it is in close association with the axis vertebrae. Okay, it is in the close association with the axis vertebra. Now, the atlas and the axis vertebra helps in the movement of head. So the atlas function in head movement, and precisely its functions in the nodding movement. In the nodding movements, while the axis function in turning the head left and right. Twisting of head, or you can say twisting of the neck. Okay, so that is the basic information about the atlas vertebrae. Now, you should know that the cervical vertebrae are 7 in number. In case you are asked, there are 7 in number, and you should also know the basic parts of a typical vertebrae. We know that the typical vertebrae is made up of 5 basic parts: the neural spine, the neural canal, the transverse process, the facet, and the centrum. So these are the basic 5 parts of the cervical vertebrae, in case you are asked to mention the 5 parts of a typical vertebrae. Now, specimen H is the lumbar vertebrae. We also do not need to write any botanical name or scientific name of anything here. Okay, lumbar vertebrae of rabbits. Okay, now this specimen, the information you should have is that in rabbits there are 7 in number. Meanwhile, in humans there are 5 in number. Okay, they are basically found or located at the back region of the rabbits. Okay, I found or located at the back region of the rabbit. It is also it helps in attachment of abdominal organs, So all right, so specimen I is a cactus plant. All right, so if you notice, I didn't write any botanical name, and I will explain why I didn't do that. Okay, now let's go into the taxonomy. Now, the cactus plant is under kingdom Plantae, division Tetraphyta, class Angiosperma, order Caryophyllus, family Cactusia, genus and species. I had to put them this way because we have hundreds of species of cactus plants. We have lots of species of the cactus plants. Now, the Pachycereus pranglei is the tallest, or you say the biggest species of the cactus plants. Okay, now the Blossfeldia liliputiana is the smallest, or you say the shortest species of the cactus plants. So I didn't write the species and the general name because we have lot of species. Okay, so let's go into the main features of the cactus plants now. Now, the cactus plants, firstly, they are xerophytes. That means they can survive in very hostile or harsh environment. Okay, they can survive in very dry. They are mostly found in dry lands, dry environment. Okay, now another thing is that their leaves are reduced into spines. Leaves are reduced into spine. Okay, so instead of finding a leaf on this plant, you would find spine. And one of the basic reasons why you would find a spine instead of the leaf is that the leaf, as we all know, is the major organ of water loss. Okay, so transpiration occurs basically on the leaves. Okay, so because of the nature of their environment, their leaf is being reduced or converted to spine. Okay, so their leaves is reduced or converted to the spine, which helps them conserve water. So they contain a lot of water that can sustain them even during drought. Okay, they have the ability to conserve water. So that is that. Now, another feature of the cactus plants is that the spines are produced from specialized structures. The spines are produced from specialized structures known as the areoles. So the spines are produced from specialized structures known as the areoles. So these are the basic features of the cactus plants that you may be asked. Okay, for specimen J is water lettuce. Now, this botanical name for specimen J water lettuce is Pistia stratiotes, and the taxonomy here is kingdom Plantae, division Stratophyta, class Angiosperma, order Alismatelis, family Arosia, genus Pistia, and species Stratiotes. Okay, so let us look at other information about the water lettuce. Firstly, you should know that they are hydrophytes. That means they live or can survive in water. Okay, so if you go to a water body, you see some plants that grow on the surface of water. That is what we call the Pistia stratiotes. Now, we have the part that is on the surface of water. That part is referred to as the rosettes. Okay, or the rosettes. So that's the part. And we also have the roots that is just suspended in water, just beneath the water. Okay, so the plant can survive in such condition. It is a monocot. Is a monocot plant. Okay, so that is that about the water lettuce. Okay, so specimen K is ripe tomato fruit, and the botanical name for ripe tomato fruit is Solanum lycopersicum. Okay, now let's go over to the taxonomy. Now it is under kingdom Plantae, division Stratophyta, class Angiosperma, order Solonalis, family Solanaceae, genus Solanum, and species lycopersicum. Okay, now other additional information you should know is that the tomato fruit, the vegetative structure are the seeds. Okay, the seeds are the vegetative structure. It is a dicot plant. It has high economic value. High economic value because it is mostly used in almost every household in this part of the world, and also it has the axile placentation. Okay, so you can be asked to make a transverse section of the tomato fruit and draw or tell the kind of placentation it has. So it's not far fetched. This is it. It has the axile placentation. Okay, so that's that about the ripe tomato fruit, which is specimen K. Okay, so specimen L is ripe palm fruits. Okay, and the botanical name is Elaeis guineensis. Okay, let's go over to the taxonomy. Now it's under kingdom Plantae, division Stratophyta, class Angiosperma, order Arecalis, family Arecaceae, genus Elaeis, and species guineensis. Okay, so that's that for palm fruits. Other additional information you should know is that it's a perennial plant. It's a perennial plant. It has one seed. It has one seed that is often referred to as kernel. Okay, and it's of high economic value. It is used in almost every household in this part of the world. Okay, so that is that, and it is also an insect pollinated plant. Okay, so insects and animals generally pollinate this plant. So that's that for specimen L. All right, so specimen M is the ripe Tridax fruit. Now the botanical name for Tridax fruit is known as the Tridax procumbens. Now for the taxonomy, we have kingdom Plantae, division Stratophyta, class Angiosperma, order Asterelis, family Asteraceae, genus Tridax, and species procumbens. Okay, now the important information you should know about this is that it has a common name, often referred to as coat button. goat button, or the Tridax dicey. Okay, these are two names which we often refer them as. Okay, so that's just the basic information about specimen M. Now, specimen N is the ripe mango fruit. Now, the botanical name for mango is Mangifera indica. Okay, now moving over to the taxonomy, it's under kingdom Plantae, division Tetraphyta, class Magnoliophyta, order Sapindeus, family Anacardiacea, genus Mangifera, and species Indica. Okay, now let's look at some additional information about the mango. Now, firstly, people often say that the mango has the axile placentation, but I propose that the mango has the basal placentation, because if you observe the mango fruits, you would notice that the seed is attached to the base of the fruit. And any fruit that has the seed attached to the base of the fruit by the funicle is referred to as basal placented fruit or basal placentation. Okay, so that's that. Then another information you need to know about the mango fruit is that it is a perennial crop. Okay, it's a perennial plant. And it also has high economic value. Okay, it is a dicot plant also. It's a dicot plant. That means it has 2 seed leaves. All right, so that's that about specimen N. All right, so specimen O is the ripe flamboyant flower. Okay, now the botanical name is Delonix regia, and the taxonomy here is it's under kingdom Plantae, division Tetraphyta, class Angiosperma, order Fabilis, family Fabaceae, genus Delonix, and species regia. Now, some additional information you need to know about the flamboyant flower is that it has a common name known as the forest fire. The forest fire. So whenever you enter into the forest, you'll see it very reddish at some point, or at some parts, rather. Now, this particular flamboyant flower is basically for ornamental purpose. It's an ornamental flower or ornamental plant, and then it also has a close resemblance with the pride of Barbados, but it is not pride of Barbados. Okay, so the flamboyant flower, it has the marginal placentation. You could be asked to do a longitudinal section of the flamboyant flower and draw and list and state the kind of placentation and maybe draw. You understand? So that is that about this specimen O, which is the last specimen for NECO 2024 biology specimen. All right, so that is just the summary of all the specimens that we have for this year NECO. Okay, so thank you very much for staying tuned. Please do not forget to subscribe if you have not done so. Like, share, and comment. Ask your questions below this video. I'll be there to answer you. Thank you very much, and see you in my next video, and I wish you good luck in your exams.